Scott, it'll be quite an adjustment for senior athletes this year, and those seniors I spoke to today are hoping things get back to normal sooner than later. Joey, that is right. The Starkville and West Point game is a big rivalry game, which means tickets will go by very fast. And today I spoke to Starkville Athletic Director on how you can purchase a ticket and also rules put in place before entering the game. Joey, the saying goes, in life, difficult situations can either make or break you. And COVID-19 has been that difficult situation for restaurants across the country. And here at Zachary's, this pandemic has brought the restaurant and the community even closer. There is some breaking news information I do want to pass along to everyone this Monday afternoon. I can confirm that several employees within the Columbus School District have tested positive for COVID-19 since the start of the school year this past Thursday. It is an active scene here near Lynn Lane and South Montgomery Street, where Starkville police are responding to a construction accident. Now I'm going to step aside a little bit so you guys can see what I can see right behind me, right down the street. I just arrived to the scene maybe 15 minutes ago, and this is what I do have confirmed at this time. Joey, here in downtown Starkville is a prime location of small businesses, and those who may still be struggling from COVID-19, MS 30 Day Fund, a nonprofit organization, is here to help those in need. It was just a few years ago the unemployment rate here in Clay County was the highest in the state. Fast forward to today, the economic future might see a turn for the better, as Navistar Defense says it plans to add over 500 jobs come 2024. That is what people looking for work want to hear.
Full-time jobs with full-time benefits. Jobs
have been hard to come by in Clay County. According to the Mississippi Department of Employment Security, county jobless rates have set records from 20.4% in December 2009 to 23.6% just this year in April. But things are coming around. New companies have come to the area, and existing companies are expanding. Mayor Fisackerly, VP of Economic Development for the Golden Triangle Development Link, says good things are on the horizon for Clay County.
If you look historically back at Yokohama's announcement, PECO's announcement, and those organizations or those companies' endeavors to bring jobs, we're looking at upwards of 1,500 new jobs being announced in Clay County within just the past few years.
Positive news for a workforce still stinging from the loss of Brian Foods in March of 2007. Frank Randall, who worked for the company for over 20 years, says when the company closed for good,
it changed the whole community.
And from there,
everything just went for the worse. I left Brian Foods making $13 an hour then, and when I started back over, I started over at $7.99. So it was a big change for me and a lot of the 3,000 folks that worked at Brian Foods.
As for the type of jobs Navistar Defense will be hiring for,
I think you can expect to see all types of jobs, be it clerical, admin, engineers, assembly. With this many jobs, I think there's going to be a wide variety of jobs available.
And for more information on those job opportunities, I'll have that link for you on the website at WCBI.com. Reporting in West Point, Bobby Martinez, WCBI News. Joey, Winston County Sheriff Jason Pugh touched on topics such as the current state of law enforcement and its future. Also, how America as a whole can unite together to create a positive change.
At what point are we all going to get together? We're all going to decide where we want to go with this and move forward.
They say the past is etched in stone, and for some, the past is what they may continue to hold on to. On another front, racial injustice has been brought into the spotlight. Winston County Sheriff Jason Pugh is hoping for a positive change.
At what point are we going to continue to fight about things that have happened that weren't right? We have to move forward. If we don't, we're going to continue to stay locked in the past. You know, I would love to say that that's going to be easy to do. Quite obviously, we haven't done a very good job of it so far. We're still having arguments that we were having 20 years ago. We're not making a lot of progress.
When it comes to race, Pugh says it is important everyone takes a moment to see things from the other person's perspective.
I quite honestly realize that through talking through some of my dear friends that I don't always see things the way another person sees it, especially a person of another race. You know, I don't have the same background a lot of times. I don't have the same history, and I don't see things the way they see things. What I have to do is realize that I'm not seeing things the way they're seeing things and be willing to try to understand how they see things.
And with tensions taking place in America, Pugh shares a message for those looking to join law enforcement.
I would say to people who are looking to get into this business, look into getting into this business to make the changes that you think are what needs to be made. Don't look at the problems we have now. Look at what you can do with it if you get here.
Andrea, immediate action will be taken. Top administrators tell me it is important that they act fast because the last thing they want is a school-wide outbreak. Adapting to change,
This generation has never experienced something like this.
but with a positive mindset.
We hope that we can have a great school year.
COVID-19 has placed school districts in Mississippi in uncharted territory. The Louisville Municipal School District made the decision to push their start date for traditional and hybrid learning to August 20th due to the increase of positive cases. And David Luke, superintendent of Louisville Municipal School District, says letters will be sent to families once a student or faculty member tests positive.
A person that has tested positive or someone in their household has tested positive, we're going to notify that person with written documentation, talking about their quarantine days and procedures and steps that they're supposed to take.
Now, if there's just one positive case, the school will still remain open, but if it's greater than 3,
So once you get greater than 3 confirmed cases in a group, that's when you go to looking at possibly quarantining the group.
Paul Hayes, head of school at Winston Academy, says once a person tests positive, they must immediately go into quarantine. And from there,
Then what we have to do is find out if it is a staff member, what people came in close contact within 6 feet for over 15 minutes. We have to break that down. We narrow that down. Normally that drops the number way down to a minute amount in comparison to what would have been.
Hale says a majority of students have chosen the traditional way of learning, but each day before stepping on campus, they must answer a few questions.
Yeah, right here is one of our check-in stations. Our students report coming out of the parking lot in the mornings. They come in and our coach is standing here. They answer the questionnaire and they have their temperature taken and then their hand is stamped and then they enter school. Once again, if anything on the questionnaire they answer yes to, then they go home. If their temperature is 100.4, then they would go home. But we've been very fortunate in our days of return. We've had nobody with fever and no answers of yes at this time.
That is right, Joey. You may have guessed it. These criminals are targeting the elderly. The scammers are playing on the emotions of their victims, using their grandchildren as bait, and it's costing those senior residents thousands of dollars. It begins with a phone call. Scammers finding ways to make money the quickest way possible.
They're making big money.
Oktibbeha County Sheriff Steve Gladney says scammers are targeting a soft spot when scamming the elderly folks.
Somebody will be masquerading as an elderly person's grandchild or something, and once she says their name, they take off with it. In a few minutes, he'll say, "Look, the attorney needs to speak with you," and they'll give the phone to him, somebody masquerading as an attorney and saying that the child's in trouble and needs some money or he's going to jail.
The victims in these scams are local when some live out of state, and Gladney says folks should be extra cautious when giving personal information over the phone.
If anybody calls you and says they're law enforcement or they were the federal agency or something and ask you to send money, then it's a scam. We don't call anybody and say you need to go and get 3 cards from Walmart and give us the number and that type deal.
And it is these gift cards that scammers have been using as a go-to. In this card in particular, you can load up to $500 a pop, something scammers have been using so frequently.
And so they put the money on the card because the person that they're talking to has correct information.
Detective Sergeant John Michael Lay of Starkville Police Department says lottery scams have also been a common issue.
You won, you pay kind of scam, the lottery scam, you won $1 million. But I need you to pay the taxes on it first, and then you send $5,000 and you never see any more money.
Lay says scammers have a way to try and sweet talk people out of their own money.
There are bad people that are out there, and they will try and take an honest person's savings or an honest person's honesty and use it against them. They will take the goodness of someone's heart or protection of your family or doing what you think you're supposed to be doing through your business and use it against you.